I know recently I have talked and featured a lot about the changes that are going on here in Dundee. We're approaching the winter months and there's not going to be a lot happening, and I also kind of want to do this final video including a couple of stories I haven't talked about previously and lay the topic to rest until probably sometime in the late spring, early summer of next year when many of the events and unveilings get underway. The first story that I'll talk about is something that's just also recently been confirmed, and it's a change to the Dundee skyline. It's not a huge story, but it has been confirmed this week that the owners of the Overgate shopping centre will be demolishing their City House office block, which you can see towering above the shopping centre. Apparently, the only recent residents of that centre is some, I believe, legal firm and the Overgate Centre management team. This actually means that there'll be some readjusting of the upper floor of the Overgate to facilitate their management team and the new click and collect store for an online shopping store that we've previously heard about. It may not sound like a major story, but the office block in question was built in the 1960s, so it's been standing for 50, nearly 60 years, and will certainly be a noticeable absence from the Dundee skyline. I recently also put up a video of the send-off of the City of Dundee's bid to be the 2023 European City of Culture. To be honest, I'm not entirely confident that we'll get past the latter stages, Of course, as I stated in that video, it's St Andrew's Day later at the end of this month where the cities that have put in a bid will be shortlisted. To be honest, I don't know whether this Brexit and leaving the European Union thing will affect any UK cities. I know certainly Belfast at least has also put in a bid to try and gain that 2023 European City of Culture status. We'll see later on this month whether Dundee will progress. To be honest, I'm not entirely confident we will. It's just I still feel as I felt a couple of years ago when we lost out to Hull. I feel that we're not at the stage where we really would do the best job as the City of Culture. Whether it's leaving the European Union, obviously the status of any UK cities or any such competition is obviously in doubt when it comes to the UK cities being able to apply to it. I still think we're not at the right stage right now and I know that it's about 5 years away, but I don't feel we're right now at the right proper stage to take that mantle of the City of Culture and do the best job that we can with it. Speaking of preparations, this past week also confirmed or announced by the V&A Museum, the new Victoria and Albert Museum at the waterfront, is that they are looking to the second half of 2018 for their opening date. Some people I think may have said on social media and Twitter and Facebook that they feel that it's a bit of a delay, but it's not really. They have always talked about a summer opening for their building. I don't know why, but for the last couple of weeks, certainly last week or so before this announcement, I had a feeling that maybe perhaps they would go for middle to late June, but them saying it is certainly the second half of 2018 certainly suggests July or August. I would hope July rather than August because that's getting more into the summer. I'm still looking forward to it opening. We will obviously know the specific date near the time, and I do feel it's a little bit disappointed that they're saying the second half of 2018, but it's still the summer. It's still on schedule, and from all intents and purposes, what I've seen, what I've read, the coverage that the V&A Museum has got on television and things like the BBC National programme The One Show. It also featured in the Wall Street Journal, and I also saw it featured in Whole Dundee, featured on an Australian website. I think it's called the Australian Traveller or the Traveller, which actually said that Dundee was the capital of Fife, which is completely wrong. We're in Tayside, not Fife, and I did mention it put it on their Facebook page. But certainly, B&E Museum opening second half of next year. I certainly think, obviously that means July or August. They say they're still on course to hand for the construction crews to hand the building back over next month, December, and for the first exhibits to start arriving some point in January for the opening later this year. But I'm looking forward to it. Again, I've said a few times, I don't know what the rules will be when it comes to photography, or taking photos or video inside the actual place itself when it opens. I'll find out more about that in the future. I hope they do allow people to take photos in there, because I think it would be great publicity for them for people to go in themselves and show off the building. But anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing it open. Hopefully it'll open on time. Certainly said, this looks like it'll be July or August, hoping July, right in the middle of the summer holidays, where lots of people can travel if they've got kids, or even family with kids, or individuals like myself. They can actually travel to Dundee and visit the B&E Museum, and all information about the openings, and I don't know whether there's an entrance fee or whatever, that of course I'll bring that to people once that is officially announced next year. Because I don't expect any more details before then now. So another kind of final topic that I want to talk about is something else that I haven't talked about. It was announced a few weeks ago. People may remember last year the Willie Bucket Trail. For those who don't know, Willie is a very popular DC Thomson comic book character. Last year, throughout the summer, there was around about 70 life-size Willie statues placed around various locations here in Dundee. Each of the statues had a unique and individual design. So we saw the likes of Willie as an astronaut, a cowboy, wrapped in Tunnocks tea cake wrapper, as David Bowie, as a soldier. There was so many different fantastic designs. People can see many videos about the Willie Bucket Trail here on YouTube, on my channel, and other people's channels. It was a very popular and successful event. Very popular as in, and I've said it many times before, when I was out and about, going around visiting some of the statues, there was always people that was doing the same. Sometimes there was a queue of people waiting to take a picture or a selfie or a picture of their kids with the statue. And it was very successful as well, because when the statues were actually auctioned off, just simply the statues alone, they were all auctioned off for a total of £883,000, which was an amazing amount of money, which was raised for the Archie Foundation, which was creating a children's theatre in Ninewells Hospital. One of the questions coming out of that was whether we would see any kind of similar event. Well, now we know there is kind of an unofficial follow-up to that event. I believe, looking on the website, maggiespenguinparade.com, I believe that Wild and Art Company may be involved in this. They have their logo on that as well, and they were ones that were involved in the Willie Bucket Trail. I think they were involved in creating the replica statues and paints and different things that were involved in the Willie Bucket Trail. But we do know that Maggie's Penguin Parade will be doing something similar next year, starting next June in fact. It is to raise money for the Maggie's Cancer Care Centre, which is actually also in the grounds of Ninewells Hospital. What this is going to be, or at least the details we know so far, and you can actually go to maggiespenguinparade.com, the website there I mentioned. maggiespenguinparade.com is the website where you can. Last time I checked a couple of days ago, at least there was a notice on it saying the website is not fully up and running, and there'll be more information on the website. But right now, at least you can, for now, either volunteer as an artist to help paint the penguin statues, You can download a blueprint of the penguin statue that they're basing all of their statues on. There's like a single one, and they're obviously manufacturing it for the amount of statues that they're doing. And you can also submit your design. So you can download the blueprint of the penguin statue that they're using, which is person sized, about 5 or 6 feet tall. You can download the blueprint, you can work on the design, obviously print it out and work on the design, and then you can submit that design for consideration of being one of the individual designs that will be applied to these penguin statues, because it seems like the bucket trail last year, these 100 penguin statues that will be placed are across different locations in Dundee, all free and publicly accessible locations, will each have a unique and individual design painted on them. So that's I think it's going to be a fun event. Like I said, I think it's December 11th is the date that they want the designs submitted before. Obviously, they have to have time to choose the designs, to paint them, apply them, and then once all that's done, once then all preparations are done, the 100 penguin statues will be placed in various locations, which again, like the bucket trail, are going to be free and publicly accessible locations. So you don't need to pay to get in to see them. Also, we don't know the locations. We don't know exact date of when it starts, and that information again, just like the V&A Museum and everything, will be known nearer the time. But these 100 penguin statues will be placed in various locations across Dundee at some point in June. We do know that they will be then remaining in those locations for 10 weeks. 10 weeks, so that is, like the bucket trail, across the summer holidays. Even say the start of June, you're still talking about the middle of August. I don't think it'll be the start of June. Just taking that for example. The 1st of June, you're still talking 10 weeks, you're still talking about the middle of August, which I don't think will be the 1st of June. I think it'll be maybe later in the month, till it obviously run over the summer holidays a little bit more. But that'll be great. Just like the bucket trail, families with kids, whether they're local or not, all they really would pay for is the transport costs, obviously to get to Dundee or to get around various locations. 100 statues is a lot more than the Urwillie bucket trail. There was around about 70 life-size statues. I know there's a few smaller ones that are placed in a couple of libraries and other locations in Dundee, but certainly I think this will be a great thing. I hope that this penguin parade can capture people's imagination, similar to the bucket trail, and hopefully be a success as well. I'm not sure what they're doing about raising money. I don't know whether there'll be maps provided, whether it'll be online. I'm sure there will be, because they'll want to let people know where these penguins are. And I'm not sure whether there'll be any sort of goodbye event like the bucket trail had, where you could go down, and if you've missed or not had the opportunity to see any of the particular design that you want to, whether you want to see whether there's a particular design that you want to see, or whether you want to, like the bucket trail, and many people did went round and saw them all. If you want to see it's like I kind of call it the Pokemon effect. You want to see them all. If you want, I don't know whether there'll be any such event like that, but with all these details, and I'm sure everything like that will be announced near the time. But I think it's going to be a fun event. I'm hoping like the Urwillie Bucket Trail, it'll act as kind of a link event where people will not only go to see the location of the statue, but also take a look around, see what's in that area, whether it be food and drink, whether it be other businesses, services, and check them out, and see what the areas that the penguin statue is in is all about as well. So I'm looking forward to it. Certainly, I'm hoping that depending on whatever happens, I get the opportunity, at least for a few days, to go out and about to search some of these statues out, track them down, see any of the designs I want. I'm not sure whether I'll get a chance to see them all, but I think it's going to be a fun event. I think it's a fun attraction for the city of Dundee, with so many events going on in 2018 next year, so many things happening, continual changes in the city. 2018, I think it's going to be a good year for the city. I'm hoping it will. Because I've said before, I'm trying to remain positive on all this stuff. I'm really hoping that many of these changes, many of these redevelopments will be beneficial to Dundee. But as I said, I want to kind of lay this topic to rest for now. Nothing's going to happen anyway unless there's some really major development. I want to lay this topic to rest. There's a lot of other stuff I haven't had the opportunity to talk about. I know I've been a bit irregular lately on YouTube for various reasons, been busy at other things, but I'll still be out and about doing photography. I'm not sure what events I'll get to. There's several events going on. The Christmas lights night. I don't know. I believe looking at the website, trying to find it, I think it's the Friday, November 24th. So hoping to get to that, and I'll put up some coverage of that. But I'm looking forward to next year. Next year there's so much stuff going on in the city. I hope that Dundee really takes advantage of all of this publicity, and we'll have a good year.